Welcome to Creative Broadcasting, the station of unlimited possibilities. Presents Creating Your Seat at the Table with your host, Ashley Little, as she welcomes her guest to the table.
Welcome to Creating Your Seat at the Table. I am your host, Dr. Ashley Little. A little bit about myself: corporate executive by day, serial entrepreneur by night, CEO and founder of Ashley Little Enterprises, LLC, and founder and owner of Talk Radio and TV Network, LLC. Tonight, we have an amazing special VIP guest by the name of Dr. Stacey Grant. A little bit about her. Probably Dr. Stacey Grant often quotes this message from Gandhi: the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. This is how she has built a global platform of service. Dr. Grant has spent countless hours quietly volunteering her time in service in the community through her civic engagement and youth mentorship. From working closely with local elected officials to support community outreach, to volunteering her time speaking with students in her local schools, to serving on PTA boards, Dr. Grant gets the greatest joy from serving others. She has received numerous awards from the NYS Senate, NYS Assembly, NYC City Council, Office of the Governor of New York, national and local organizations, including her most recent recognition as a Woman of Distinction by the Continual Society, Inc. Her body of work is punctuated by receiving the 2016 Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award for volunteer service from our 44th President, Barack Obama, an appointment in 2017 as a Fellow of the Most Excellent Order of International Experts, and a recipient of the 2019 Change Nations ICN World Civility Ambassador Award. Publicly as an award-winning international speaker, master facilitator, best-selling author, influencer, producer, and celebrity MC, Dr. Grant is living her divine calling to lead, teach, and inspire. Described as God's designer original, she ignites her audience with her captivating smile, intoxicating humor, and boundless energy. In 2014, Dr. Grant founded Destiny Designers University, a classroom without borders where we graduate to the next best version of ourselves by turning inspiration into results. Destiny Designers University, the only training and development platform for faithpreneurs, faith-based entrepreneurs, and faith-based professionals who grow their wealth, generating practices around an affinity to God and faith by learning how to leverage their relationships, resources, and revenue to create sustainable legacies by being cash flow positive and unapologetically profitable. Training is delivered through live and self-directed courses and supported through books, products, and other merchandise at www.destinydesignersuniversity.com. Faithpreneurs gather annually in August for the Faithpreneur Weekend 3-day experience. To enroll or find out more information, you can visit www.faithpreneurweekend.com. Dr. Grant is the Chief Brilliance Officer of CNG Enterprises Unlimited, LLC, and MWBE that specializes in meeting facilitation and professional development training. During COVID-19, CNG began offering decontamination services to other small businesses and meeting spaces to ensure the safe gatherings in these public spaces. CNG Enterprises Unlimited, LLC was tapped as the MWBE firm selected to be the facilitator for the JFK International Airport Redevelopment Community Advisory Council, a $13 billion redevelopment project. Learn more at www.cgeunlimited.com. Prior to 2016, Dr. Grant owned CNG Enterprises, provided purpose-driven event strategies for community-based and not-for-profit organizations. CNG has been featured on Access Hollywood, Fox 5, Metro TV, and We Television. The event strategies utilized focus on producing successful outreach events that brought value to the participants and community at large. Clients include Mentoring in Medicine, Inc., Sister to Sister International, Inc., St. Paul Community Baptist Church, Inc., Own Your Power Communications, Inc., Achievement in Leadership Purpose, Inc., and Inspired Girls, Inc. Under Ms. Grant's leadership, CNG has received numerous awards, honors, and citations from various organizations and government officials for outstanding commitment to excellence in service. As a media personality, influencer, and producer. Dr. Grant hosts the following shows on the Destiny Designers TV network: Dreams Due Dawn Accountability Podcast, From the Ground Up, Real-Time Issues with Real-Time Solutions for MWBE, Speaking Legally, Where the Legal Meets the Culture, SEQ News, Southeast Queens, New York Health Initiative, and the IG Live show, Faith Bites. Replays of her weekly Saturday Faithpreneur VIP prayer call are available on iHeart, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Dr. Grant is also one of the co-hosts for the Vera Moore TV show. Additionally, Dr. Grant has been a featured speaker for the Rainbow Push Wall Street Summit, Fraser Net Annual Networking Conference, NYC Department of Corrections, Bronx Community College, St. John's University, Project Enterprise, Mary J. Blige FFAWN Foundation, Women's Academy of Excellence, Medgar Evers College, the 1209 of Fair Success Net Series, Peak Performance Institute, Women Doing It Big Foundation, Macy's, WBLS, L'Oreal, Brooklyn College, Women in the Black, AARP, the New York Urban League, the Eagle Academy Foundation, celebrity guest host for the New York Journal, and many more. Dr. Grant also has the distinction of being one of the world-renowned Les Brown's notable platinum speakers, one of his expert trainers, and past host of Les Brown Motivational Monday Night Calls. As a philanthropist, Dr. Grant is the co-chair of the Queens NYC affiliate of the National Cares Mentoring Movement, founded by Susan L. Taylor, whose mission is to recruit, connect, and direct mentors to vulnerable young people. Additionally, she is the secretary of a church choir, past president of the St. John's University Black Alumni Association, a life member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, founding president of the graduate chapter, Phi Zeta chapter in Queens, New York, and community service chair for Jack and Jill of America, Inc., Queens chapter. Dr. Grant currently resides in Queens, New York, with her husband, Andrew, and two sons, Josiah, in Germany. With God as her guide, our global community will be better for her service to humanity. Welcome to the table, the legendary Dr. Stacey Grant.
Oh, my goodness, Dr. Ashley Little, you read that whole bio. Jesus, everybody wake up.
Wake up, because you are a legend, okay? You are a legend, all right? Oh, my God. We got a legend.
Oh, my
here,
goodness. Okay? Well, let me tell you, what I need to add is that I have appeared on the Dr. Ashley Little show. That's when my stock went up, being here with you tonight. And, you know, my trademark is Dr. Stacey NC Grant, because that always gives people pause. So what's the NC stand for? If I tell you, I got to kill you. So I'm not going to do that on the Dr. Ashley show. But I am excited.
I love it.
Well, I love being here with you, my dear. And before you say another word, I just want to celebrate you. You have opened up a platform and created a seat at the table for so many people, and I truly am honored to be here with you and just be a part of the brilliance that you have created. So I'm serious. My stock went up. I am always supporting other women in business, men in business that add value. But then you're a black woman in business, girl. How about that black girl magic? All right now.
I love it. I am humble. And thank you so much. And I'm so humbled to have you at the table. And thank you for just, paving the way. I mean, you are amazing. And our audience has heard your bio. So could you tell us, more about your journey? Anything else you would like to add, just about your journey, because you have, really breaking glass ceilings every day.
Well, look, I didn't know that I couldn't. Let's just put it that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was walking with my husband the other day. Actually, for Mother's Day, I requested that my family take a healthy walk. And that's what I wanted to do after relaxing and just saying, okay, I just want to slow down a little bit because I moved so fast. And we were walking past a house and a dog was just barking. One little tiny dog just, I said, why are these little dogs just always so loud? Like they could tear somebody up. And my husband looked at me and said, because nobody told them they couldn't. And I said, wow, Dave, that was deep. I might have to quote you on that one. So the reason why I share that story is no one told me that I could not do what I put my mind to. My mom always told me I could do anything that I wanted to do, and I was crazy enough to believe her. And it has not been an easy road. I feel like one of my next books will be How to Make 101 Mistakes and Still Recover. Because the beauty in growing through life is not being afraid of failure, not being afraid of making those mistakes or pushing through the obstacles, because that's what makes you stronger. That's what adds the layers to your brilliance. That's how you become someone like Dr. Ashley Little that can start a show or produce programming, bring all these people to the table, because you're just that bold. And I was that bold young girl from baby, they say. Now, I'm going to just tell you, Dr. Ashley, they done told me the story so many times. I feel like I can remember and recall that my aunt swore that I was fussing them out without being able to speak English. They said I was dabba, 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 and then spin on my heels, and all they saw was the pamper walking off because they were told. So my communication skills started kind of early. And then when I went to school for the first time, I was blessed because I lived in a 3-family home. We're from Jamaica, West Indies. I grew up in the Bronx, New York. We had a 3-family home. So my mom and I were on the top, my grandparents in the middle, aunt and uncle in the basement. So it was always a family setting. And they were there to nurture and guide me. So my grandfather taught me how to read and how to do basic arithmetic before I went to school. So when I arrived on the first day, my mother was prepared, honey. Any parents listening, you know, the first day of school, I think is more traumatic for the parents than it is for the child. She took off from work. She was prepared. She was like, whew, let me get myself ready because I don't know how this is going to go. She's never been away from home. And she had my cousin and myself. I'm in the car. She said I was fidgeting in the back. I had my backpack. It was matching because I like bling and fashion from early. I was like, I was together, Ma. You had me right. All the little twigs in my hair and the little clips. And she said I jumped out the car and I kissed her. And I spun on my heels and went straight beeline into the building. Didn't even know where I was going. She's trying to hold my cousin who's falling apart, crying, throwing up like, I don't want to go, I don't want to go. And she left me, and her feelings were hurt, Dr. Ashley. She said, this child didn't even turn around. I took off from work thinking I had to take care of her. Now I got to take my niece home. Fast forward, she comes back to pick me up, and the teacher motions to her. Now, that's any parent's nightmare. The first day of school, the teacher wants to speak to you. So she goes, she said, yes, ma'am. She said, well, I can see that Stacy's a very smart child. She already knows how to read, and she knows her numbers. She said, but there's one problem. So my mother said she was like holding her heart, like, what did Stacy do in school? And she exhaled. And the teacher said, she thinks she's a teacher. She keeps gathering all the kids together, telling them how to do their ABCs and showing them math, and she's not acknowledging me as the teacher. So clearly, it started from then when I thought I was in charge of everybody and everything. So, yes, I had to learn how to acquiesce to the teacher in the classroom and learn so that I could grow. But that kind of boldness, that kind of unfiltered excitement about learning and sharing and teaching, it came from an early age. So anyone listening today, you showed signs of who you are becoming, even when you were as young as going into nursery or kindergarten or first grade. And that has followed me throughout my life. I've always been excited about challenges. I've always done, as the kids would say, the most. Like, I don't know how to do things low key and quiet. I'm not on the mute ministry. I'm bold. I'm brilliant. I'm audacious. Like, that's just who I am, Dr. Ashley. And some people love it, and some people can do without me. And that's all right, because I can do without them.
I love it. I love it. So you built, Dr. Stacey, you have built a global platform of serving others, right? And a lot of people talk about serving others, but I mean, your platform is the fruit of your labor has been built off of it, right? And you have taken, by serving others, it not only built multiple platforms, but it's a global platform. So tell us why you're so passionate about that.
The only way that I feel you can appreciate your elevation is understanding everything from the ground up, not being too big to learn, not getting so caught up in your ego and thinking that you are the smartest one in the group. Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, who I just love and admire, we've had a chance to be together numerous times in his participation in FraserNet. In his book, What Makes the Great Great, he said, if you're the smartest person in the group, you need a new group. So serving allows you to be in places where you show up with a value add. You know my mentor, Dr. George C. Frazier, one of them, and he talks about your life should matter, that you should add value. And I've always taken that to heart. I was in a leadership program when I was in high school, and one of the coordinators said to us, when you all go off to college, you should be the leaders on your campus. If I come and visit, you all are the ones that are running things, that you're taking what you've learned in this leadership program and you're implementing that when you hit a college campus. And I took it seriously. Like, I really felt that it's to whom much is given, much is really required. So the way that you grow is through being humble enough to serve and to learn, sit at the feet of the elders. Why recreate the wheel when there's nothing new under the sun? And when you give and you serve from your overflow, you can't stop the blessings that fall back on you. So sometimes we can't wait the wait out. Sometimes we just want to be on blast. We want to have our name on the billboards and the bright lights, but we don't want to do the work. And there is a certain level of consistent discipline that you develop through service that allows you the elevation to be ready for what is already predestined for your life. And when you are humble enough to serve, when you are able to share, you grow. And in your growing, you build up the muscle and the stamina that you can't buy, that you earn through the grit, that you earn through the resilience, that you earn through perseverance, that you earn through the humble ascension to where you were called to be. So service for me shows me character. It shows me the ability for someone to not think so highly of themselves, but to understand the importance of serving the least of these. And that's what guides and guards my actions and my heart in the work that I do. And I just thank God every day that I can connect with people all over the globe on a common and a singular mission to use what we've been given, multiply those talents, and be good stewards of how we develop that in the marketplace, because that's what God commanded.
Powerful, 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 powerful. I hope our listeners are taking notes. Dr. Stacy, she's going to leave us with some amazing nuggets tonight, so I hope you all are taking notes. And with that, because it's so much power in service, you founded Destiny Designers University. Tell us about your amazing university, what you all have to offer, how people can get involved, how they can enroll. Tell us more about it.
Thank you for that, Dr. Ashley. So this came from years of doing and not quite understanding how the pieces would fall into place. So I'm speaking to the person in your audience who feels like they're multifaceted, like they have all these ideas, all these things that are bubbling up on the inside of them, and they're not sure where to go and what to do next and how to implement it, but they just know that they have all of these ideas. They have these witty downloads, and they're like, oh my gosh, where do I go? What do I do? And I talk about it because I understand it. That was me. Like, God, you keep giving me all these ideas. Like, how do I implement all of them at the same time? And that is not the best way forward. I won't say it's not the way forward, because some people do it and drive themselves crazy. And that's where I found myself like, wait. This is becoming a little cray-cray, and I'm all over the place. Hold on now. Let me bring this in and figure out what needs my attention first, because this idea of multitasking, it's played, as the children would say, right? Like, that's not the best use of your time. Figuring out how you could build the spokes on a wheel. The wheel is going to turn, but it needs each spoke to be steady and sturdy. So as you're building and growing, Destiny Designers University is this training and development platform for faithpreneurs, faith-based entrepreneurs and faith-based professionals who want to add another stream of income to their personal economy. You don't have to quit your job to be a faithpreneur. Some people love what they do, but they also understand that retirement might not look the way you decided it should, and you might need some additional verticals to give you that cushion that you want to live a life and leave a legacy. So with faithpreneurs, we understand that the cornerstone of our strategy and our development is God's word and the cornerstone of faith. So with that, it allows you an opportunity to write the vision and make it plain. And we have a 3D process and system that we've implemented to help our faithpreneurs get from that, oh my gosh, I have so much going on, I don't know what to do, Dr. Stacy, help me, to how do we write the vision, Make it plain so that those who get it can run with it, right? So it's a process. It's not overnight success. I don't sell any quick schemes. There's no silver bullet. No, that's not what God's word teaches us, and that's not reality. That there is a process that you need to go through. So we do our part to help you in a 3D process from discovery, discipline, because so many people have a lot of things they want to do, Dr. Ashley. I'm sure you met a few. I want to start a radio show too. And they talk about it on Tuesday and they forget about it by Thursday. So there's discipline, there's a development. You're going to have to learn and grow and expand and scale by what you invest in. And you can't expect people to invest in you at a rate you're not willing to invest in yourself. So there are things that you need to learn along the way that get you to deliverance. So it's a 3D process. It's a holistic approach. And Destiny Designers University touches on 4 pillars: spiritual, mental, financial, and physical. We can't excel in one area and lack in the other and think that we can have a sustainable and profitable future. Every single part of those tenets need to be tended to so we can show up as our best self. Our tagline is where we graduate to the next best version of ourselves by turning inspiration into results. You can be inspired all day, but show me your results. Where's the measurable benchmarks that you can see what's working? And if it's not working, it's okay. Face the things that you need to fix so that you can make the changes that are required so that you can have the profit that you desire for your business. Because I had to learn the hard way, Dr. Ashley. If you're not making a profit, you're not in business, okay? It's glorified community service.
That is fact. So, it's a hobby if it's not profitable.
It's not. So you have to learn that, and that's what our platform is. We've had a couple of iterations. One of my second life lessons in my signature book, it's not about being perfect. It's about getting started so you have something to perfect. If we were worried about being so perfect, we would have never launched back in 2014. We would have waited and waited and waited, and some people get paralyzed by this pursuit of perfection. Now, there's a difference between operating in excellence and getting paralyzed by perfection. Operating in excellence means you put your best forward and then you refine it as you go. Some of us are using devices that are named after a fruit, and I'm not going to mention the name because they're not sponsoring the Dr. Ashley Little Show. So when you get those devices, you know it's defective. But it's made with a pursuit of excellence. And when I say defective, there's an update. There's a patch. There's something that's coming out within weeks, days of it launching. And if they can launch a product that's not completely perfect, but they're operating with a spirit of excellence, what are you waiting on?
Powerful. That was good. And just to go deeper here, why is faith so important, in order to, take your business to the next level? For our faithpreneurs that are listening out here, why is faith so important?
So, in my opinion, you have to have a certain level of determination that comes from a place bigger and stronger than you. So the average entrepreneur, I always say, is two-part cray-cray. You have to have something in you that's not all the way wrapped to be in business for yourself, right? Because it requires you to dream bigger, to think about things that most people won't, because they are more comfortable knowing where their paycheck is coming from on a consistent basis, that they have their benefits. And there's no judgment. It's just everybody's now wired with that ingenuity to be an entrepreneur. And we can't have all entrepreneurs, but then who's going to work in the workforce, right? Who the entrepreneur is going to hire? So I get that. But faithpreneurs, we build the business with a level of understanding that there was a plan for your life before you arrived, that you are walking out the predestined plan for your life. That's what your destiny is, that you're walking into the thing that you've been equipped with, that nobody has to qualify you for. Mark Batterson put it in his book, Draw the Circle. God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. So that qualification comes from your growth and development as a person of faith, that when you put God first, then all things shall be added, right? All things work together for good for them that love God and are called according to his purpose. That's why I need to talk to faithpreneurs about this part of my vertical. Because if you are not a believer, if you don't understand, you don't think I'm talking straight Looney Tune business, right? But if you believe with your free will that God is real and his word is true and it will never return unto him void, then you understand you have to be in right relationship with him. The strategies, the process, the systems, the examples are all in his word. And what we're doing is learning and uncovering the depths of that so that we can be one of those good servants and multiply the talent, not hide it under the bushel thinking we're doing a good thing and go keep it nice and quiet and buried till the master come back. Now, where they do that at? We're supposed to multiply it. So a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Why would God talk about leaving an inheritance if it didn't require the currency that allows you to do that? So getting past the limiting beliefs and the mindsets that have people thinking we can't talk about faith and finance in the same sentence. That, oh, she must be going straight down to hell in a handbasket. No, I know my inheritance. I know whose I am. And if I know that and I understand that, then I let go of some of the things that I might have picked up along the way that are not in accordance to God's will for my life. And that if he gave me a talent and a skill, he gave it to make room for me. Just like the widow and the oil. Where's your oil? She didn't think she had anything. When her husband passed, she was about to die. Like, well, my kids and I, we just about to be out because my husband gone. Man of God, what we doing out here in these streets? And he asked, what do you have? And, of course, that's the Dr. Stacey paraphrase. But he asked, what do you have? And she only thought, oh, just some oil. And some of us are sitting around thinking, oh, just some speaking ability. Oh, just a book. Oh, just a product idea. And that's the very thing that God gave you to fill your vessels and to live off for the rest of your life.
Powerful. I mean, you just said, wow, so many nuggets that you just released there, Dr. Stacey, that was just needed. But so our listeners, I hope you were taking notes. So I know earlier you talked about, the different parts of, the Destiny Designers University and the different parts that have to be put together spiritual, mentally. What are 3 strategies you would give to entrepreneurs that are listening to help them scale their business to take it to the next level?
Oh, I love that. So, of course, I have more than 3 that we go through, but the first one, the very first one is to really, when we talk about write the vision and make it plain, that's your business plan. That's your business summary. That is some sort of written documentation of analyzing the market and what you're bringing to the market. What is it that you want to produce, share, sell in the world? Because what can happen, and I've been there earlier on in my career as a serial entrepreneur, you create something because you think it's great, you think everybody's going to buy it. But give the people what they want. That's what my other mentor, Linda Clemens, would say. Give the people what they want. Try to take the time, not even try, take the time, survey, ask people questions as you're writing out your plan. So that's number 1. Writing the vision and making it plain requires you doing a little bit of research with your potential ideal customer. People call it your avatar, who's your ideal market. Get to know that. Spend the time that's necessary so that when you're speaking, you can speak directly to them. I was very disobedient in the beginning. I thought if you had a post and you were in 1 foot of me, honey, you were my client. I did not want to listen to any of my coaches and anybody else in marketing who said, go deep in the niche, identify. I'm like, please. Anybody who's breathing, they're my customer. No. Write that plan. Write that vision. Be clear about who you're speaking to. That's number 1. So you can research if there is a need in the marketplace of what you're offering. And maybe it's just you need to tweak how you offer it or how you package it so that those that you're speaking to can hear. So that's number 1. Number 2, systems. I did not appreciate or respect how important creating systems in your business is. If you want to be able to scale your business, if you want your business to be able to be sustainable, create the systems and the processes that will do that. If you're the only one that knows how to do what you do, that's a problem. Create the system so that it's plug and play. Anybody that you hire, that you bring on your team, that you move past being a solopreneur and you start expanding your scope of work and you're able to compete for funding. Like, let's take the PPP loans and the EIDL loans and all these things that came in to give an influx into the economy because of what has happened with the global pandemic. If you didn't have those processes and systems in place, you were at a deficit. So please make sure you write the vision, get the plan. 2, systems and processes. And 3, get the proper coaching and mentorship. Invest in yourself. I can't say that enough. Do not go out and try to recreate what has already been done. Invest in working with someone who is credible, that operates with integrity, that has a proven track record, and that you and your personality and your leadership style can gel with. That's the part that a lot of people leave off. They'll talk about the other 3 and how important they are, but they leave off that other piece because you need to work with someone that gets and understands your personality, someone that will call you on your stuff, someone who will see past where you think you are. My other mentor, Les Brown, always says this: you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. So you need somebody who's able to identify with your pain points and turn those into cash points.
Wow. Powerful. Write the vision, make it plain. System and process, and investing in a coach and a mentor. And I always say this, Dr. Stacey, invest in one that's 30 steps ahead of you. What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. Why would you invest in one that's at the same pace? Then how can you grow? Right? You need to be with someone that it makes you uncomfortable. I remember when I enrolled in my first program over a decade plus ago when I started working with Les. I never signed a contract that big. I was like, what? Woo! I didn't know how I was going to do it either. But I made the intention. And as soon as I made the intention, and I got clarity around how I was going to fund that. And it's amazing when you just make the intention that this is what I know has shown up for me at this time when the student is ready to teach her peers. So you're able to now stretch past what's comfortable, what's regular, what's convenient. And in that stretch is growth. In that stretch is opportunity. In that stretch, that individual can now expose you on a whole different level than where you were or somebody on your same level is. So that is huge. You know, and don't think when you get to a certain level, you stop. I listen to my mentors, George Frazier, they're still investing in programs and working with people at their level of success. So I'm not going to stop. You don't stop learning. You don't stop growing. Once there's breath, there's hope. Once there's hope, there's opportunity. Once there's opportunity, it's for you to grow, learn, scale, and leave this world better than how you found it.
Powerful, powerful. And you know one of my good mentors, Bro Baffert. So,
oh, yes! That's my brother. Yes.
Absolutely. So definitely, I mean, you are really sharing some amazing nuggets tonight. Powerful. And so I always ask my guests this question, Dr. Stacey, and you've built multiple tables for yourself and for others. How did you create your seat at the table?
Oh, I love that. And first of all, I just love the name of the show. And yes, creating your seat at the table, not asking anybody's permission. You know, sometimes we get frustrated because we don't get invitations to the table or we're not asked to certain things. Show up with enough value, and not only will others invite you to the table, they'll start creating a table for you. So case in point, and I'll just share this real quick. Destiny Designers University is one of my verticals. My other vertical, and vertical meaning income streams, I own C&G Enterprises Unlimited LLC that you talked about earlier when you introduced me. And that is an MWBE, which is a minority women-owned business enterprise. My first opportunity to showcase what we were doing as a company came with being the facilitator for the JFK redevelopment. That is a position that interfaces with elected officials, community leaders, the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, and the terminal developers like Delta Airlines, JetBlue, American Airlines. So that is a key role and opportunity to be in a public eye. But that came from, Dr. Ashley, the years that I spent serving, building relationships. That's why you hear us talk about leveraging relationships, resources, and revenue. Those are the things that allow the opportunity for you to create your own table when it doesn't exist, and for one to be created for you, because people see so much value. They just need to have you participate in their space, their opportunity, their product, their service, because that's the level of value that you bring. So your name, your reputation, and your value add speaks before you even get in the room. So you create it by the value that you bring, that people know that you're consistent, you're dependable, you operate with integrity, and you deliver. Those are the things that afford you opportunities like many of the ones that I have, but also give you the credibility to create your own table if none exists for you.
Whew. Okay. I mean, that was a mouthful by itself, okay? And tell us more about C&G Enterprises, the services you all have, and how can people get involved?
Well, yes, so we do contracts with the government, city and state government here in New York City, and we have some outside in the tri-state area. So we do meeting facilitation. So people know me as a speaker and an author with some of the work that I do with Destiny Designers University, but I've also refined that to be able to offer professional meeting facilitation services for my corporate clients and for my government clients. We also do professional development training workshops. I go in and create custom presentations depending on the client need and what the deliverables are and what they want to produce. So I get great joy from doing that. And when COVID hit, we decided that we wanted to answer some of the need when it came to gathering safely, and how could we create another service that would allow, when we do some of these events, which are live events prior to COVID, that we could open up in a safe place and have the decontamination service be a backup to the facilitation and the program development that we provide, with this bonus now of being able to be COVID safe with the decontamination. So we were just being innovative when we saw the problem, and we decided to answer it. So that is that part of the work that we do. And of course, I get great joy from my other vertical with Destiny Designers, showing and training other faithpreneurs how to build out their platforms and their revenue streams to be cash flow positive.
Everybody's listening, you need to connect with Dr. Stacey NC Grant, okay? She is powerful. I mean, this interview is powerful. And a lot of people see the accomplishments, but they don't see the process, right? And everybody has a process. The process is the most important part of it. So what did failure teach you on your journey, Dr. Stacey?
Oh, I love that question. Yes. No one just shows up in life. I know Beyonce wrote the song, She Woke Up Like This. No, she didn't.
No, she did.
Right? No. She has some work. She's taking care of herself and her body. Like, there's sacrifices that she's made to do what she does. And that song, yes, we all like the little beat and dance to it, but the pain in learning the difficult lessons built my faith muscle. Before it even built anything else, it built my faith muscle, because you can say you have faith until you are in a valley experience. Then you know the God you serve, right? So you just talking it or you walking it. So the struggles and I call them expensive learning curves, allowed me to look at, can I really blame? Because, church folk are good for blaming the enemy. Oh, the devil did me. Sometimes it ain't the devil. Sometimes you, right? Sometimes you the one that didn't do what you supposed to do. So it was looking at, what could I learn from this experience? What is it teaching me? What did I not have prepared? Because God can't bless mess. So if we need to face some things, if we need to fix some things, it requires just looking at what showed up and why it showed up, and then making the correction not to do it again, so that you can learn from it and grow from it and not be held prisoner by it. Don't operate in shame and oh, I can't believe. No, everybody's been through something, and if they tell you they haven't, they're lying. They either coming out of it, in the middle of it, or heading towards it. That's just the nature of the world that we live in. But for faithpreneurs, we understand that we grow by grace. we grow in our faith, that we understand who God is more and more, and what he's waiting on is for us to lean into him instead of depending on us to do it ourselves. God don't need our help. He needs our obedience. So when you make those mistakes, when you fall, when things don't go the way you thought they would go, when you're scratching your head like, hey, Jesus, my Wi-Fi working? You hearing me? Did you grab that email, Lord? Did you not give me this? He's waiting for you to settle yourself down, shut out the noise of the world, and be in communication with him so that he can give you the directions and the directive for what he has already planned and what he's waiting to bless you with.
Ooh. So what did success teach you? Because you're very, very successful.
Success. That word still just makes me like, girl, what is success? Success is when I see Jesus and he say, well done. That's what success is for me.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't even get wrapped up in that because I'm always on to the next. And my prayer is, God, help me to always remember that my words and my action have impact and influence. So let me use it wisely. Let me help as many people as I can help. Let me learn from all the things that I did not do right. Let me make sure that my children understand what true legacy means, because I celebrate the legacy of faith that I stand on from my grandmother, and that's what birthed a lot of what you will learn of me through Destiny Designers University and our annual gathering at Faithpreneur Weekend. So for me, it's just learning how to do it better, how to get stronger, how to scale wider, how not to limit the possibilities, because there was a time where I started realizing, hold on, girl, you thinking a little small. You need to go for broke. Like, who your daddy? And if you really believe that God is the owner of the universe, just like a kid would have an attitude about their inheritance from their earthly parents, our God owns everything. So why should I think small? Why should the lot of the wicked rest on the righteous? No, that don't happen. If we do what we're supposed to do, if we show up as good stewards, if our heart is always pressing towards that mark to be a good representation of who God is, that is where joy comes from. That's the peace that passes all understanding. And when God knows he can trust you over little, guess what? He'll enlarge your territory.
I love that. And so what can we expect from the amazing Dr. Stacey N.C. Grant the rest of 2021? We are in the second quarter.
Oh, yes. Well, all roads for me right now lead to Faithpreneur Weekend 2021. I am so excited about the fourth year. You know, we launched this, Dr. Ashley, in the middle of the world in Times Square, New York City, at the New York Marriott Marquis. And it was a huge undertaking, but it was a celebration of the legacy of my grandmother, Pernell Agatha Roden. She left this planet December 15, 2015, at 98 years young. And there's not a day that goes by that I don't miss her. I know I was blessed to have her for 98 years, but I was grandma's baby. And my grandma always stood on her faith. And she said, I might not have riches to leave you, but I sure will leave you with faith. But here's the thing, Dr. Ashley. I didn't find out until she had passed away that my grandmother had a business in Jamaica, West Indies. My grandfather built a whole side to the house for her to sell. And I'm going to use our accent for the impact of what I'm about to say. She opened up the store and everybody came. Miss Pearl, me beg you, let me pay you next week if you get to me today. Translation in the English is layaway. So she kept giving away everything. And my grandfather shut it down. He was like, we can't make no money with this. Oh, I did. And I could see my grandfather doing it. But what if my grandmother had a Faithpreneur Weekend? What if she had the training and development that we provide? What if she knew how to leverage her relationships, resources, and revenue to create a sustainable and profitable legacy? She could have passed down that business. But God is faithful. He might not have allowed her to see it in the natural, but I know I'm the beneficiary of every prayer she prayed, that he still answered her prayer through her granddaughter. So when she passed, I launched my signature book, Action Despite the Distraction, on the eve of her birthday, August 16, 2016. The following year, we did her 100th birthday in heaven. And then 2018, we launched Faithpreneur Weekend for the first time. I didn't realize what this was. I didn't realize it was a movement that we had begun. I didn't realize the mantle that was placed over my life. But Dr. Ashley, I thank God every day that he's trusting me to build this movement, 1 million faithpreneurs, cash flow positive. That is our goal for 2025. It's bold, it's audacious. It might sound crazy to some, but I know the power in understanding who we are, whose we are, and how we use the skills, gifts, and talents to heal the problems that we have in the world, to be the ones with the innovative ideas, to be able to help the marketplace bounce back from what we have seen. God doesn't make a mistake. He only makes original. I know I'm a designer original, so are you, and so is every other faithpreneur that's willing to walk in the divine destiny that is their life, share their gifts, talents, and brilliance, get the training and development that is required, and be in a community of high achievers who understand that nothing works unless you do. And if we do our work, just watch God work and let the rest unfold.
I received that. Oh, my God, this has been a powerful interview. For our listeners that are listening, make sure you connect with Dr. Stacey N.C. Grant. She's definitely somebody to connect with and know. So, Dr. Stacey, please tell our listeners how they can follow you and support you on all social media platforms.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you can just go to DestinyDesignersUniversity.com. Destiny Design U is our handle on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere, and you'll get the link to the Faithpreneur Weekend site. It's all connected. If you follow my personal page, is Stacey N.C. Grant on Instagram and Dr. Stacey N.C. Grant on Facebook. I'm Googleicious, as the kids would say, so you can Google me and follow me as well. But I just want to connect with those of you who are incredible individuals because you're listening to the Dr. Ashley Little Show. If you're here, I already know who you are. You're somebody that understands the power in network. You're someone who understands the power in collaboration. You're somebody that understands the power in sharing our voices at seats at the table. So we already have something in common, and I just want to be here to support you on your journey, to give you the tools and resources to learn from the mistakes that I made, shorten your learning curve, and allow you to show up in the brilliance that you were already created to be. So hit me up on the gram, as they say. Shoot me an email if you want more information at support@DestinyDesignersUniversity.com. And I'll give out a free gift for those who would like to get an audio. It's called How to Win. And I did this with Les Brown years ago. And just a little bonus if you want to have that in your ear, because I believe in what you listen and what you feed your heart and spirit makes a difference. So you can just download that I just gave it away at North Carolina State, so you can use that one. NC State. So this is for North Carolina State. No, I'm not from North Carolina. That's not what NC stands for. But if you put NC State and text it to 718-303-2966, you can get that audio. I just thought of just giving that gift to your audience, Dr. Ashley, and I'm so humbled to be here. I know we had a full conversation. I pray blessing over you, over your show, over your business, over your brilliance, because we need more Dr. Ashley Littles in the world doing your part to make this a better place. So thank you so much for having me. It's Dr. Stacey. You know I'm never done, but I know how to yield a mic for an interview.
I love it. I love it. I'm humbled, Dr. Stacey, to have you at the table, and I cannot wait to invite you back, and I look forward to continuing to collaborate and work with you.
Absolutely. You can't quit me now, girl. We together.
Right, yes. So thank you again. So I would like to give a special shout out to my intern, Sarah, who is now a Tennessee State University alumni. And I would also like to give a special thanks to my intern, Vontaria, who is a student at Winston-Salem State University. You all may follow me on Facebook at Dr. Ashley Little and on Instagram, _Ashley A. Little. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Creating Your Seat at the Table, where Ashley speaks with corporate professionals, celebrities, entrepreneurs, authors, and speakers who are transitioning or have transitioned to entrepreneurship.